Hey, how's it going? I'm Forzy, and today I'm going to be showing off a Dire Mall East Lasher and Satyr farm. So we'll spawn in at the entry portal in the top left. We'll jump down, immediately pull 3 packs of Lashers, and then we'll start wandering around grabbing dreamfoil and gromsblood spawns, as well as pulling 2 more packs, or 2 more sets of 2 packs of Lashers. There's another single pack of Lashers we can pull, and then we will take out a wandering Satyr before going into a 2 Satyr pack pull. This farm is great for getting Dreamfoil, Grom's Blood, Ghost Mushrooms. You can grab some felcloth, Living Essence, as well as other random herbs. So it's super easy to learn. The hardest part is getting the hang of where the treant patrols are at any given time. But the more you do the farm and the more you're in Dire Mall East, the more you'll just get a natural inkling for where they are at any given time. So let's go ahead and start jumping into it here and show you guys how to do these pulls. So we just spawned in here outside the instance portal. There is a treant patrol that will walk by where we're running now, so you either need to beat it out or wait for it to pass by. In this run, it's already walked by. We're going to jump down, blink at the last second to avoid taking fall damage. We'll grab this warped pod real quick. Now these warped pods can either contain Renton tubers and thornling seeds, a poison cloud, 4 lashers, or nothing. They can also just root you, so you got to be a little bit careful of those. We're going to pull that first pack in the corner. Be careful not to pull the big lasher that's just off to the corner there. We're going to go ahead and body pull, ice block up. You can see I'm a little flabbergasted because my block was on cooldown and I had a cold snap. Cool Nova, jump away from the pack. Drop a flame strike right in the middle there. I like to use flame strike blizzard. I find that it's a little less risky with getting hit. But then we'll go to cold, arcane explosion, finish off the pack, and then we will go ahead and loot up, eat, drink, and get ready for the next pull. So mana and health are topped off now. Running across to the other side, I see that there are 2 herb spawns over here. So no lashers to be pulled in this corner, but I see these 2 herbs. Go ahead and grab those. Alright, got the herbs. Now we're going to go ahead and set up for that next pull. So that group of lashers I'm looking at there is going to be one of the 2 groups we pull. Want to get that warped pot out of the way. Just make sure that it's not going to be spawning more lashers or a poison cloud in the middle of our pull. Up against the wall there, so those treants don't aggro, but we'll run forward, wand that first group of lashers, counterspell the second group, and then we're running back up against this wall here to get away from any of the treant patrols. We want to make sure that we're staying away from any of those while we're doing our kill phases. It's really unfortunate when you're in the middle of a kill phase and you aggro some treants. So we'll go ahead, flame strike, blizzard these lasher packs down, hit them with a cone of cold, arcane explosion, and then we will boot up and start running towards that next pack. Alright, heading in towards these last 2 groups of lashers here. Gonna check this pod here. We pull some lashers, so we'll go ahead and start the pull. That group of patrolling treants is nowhere near, so we're good to, or safe to start. Grab that first pack with the wand, head back towards the corner here, counterspell this one. We're gonna cone of cold as we're running back by this group of lashers so that they're slowed and not hitting us the whole time, mitigate some of that damage. And then we're just gonna keep slowly backing up, let the lashers group up, and then hit them with the patented flame strike blizzard, flame strike cone of cold, whatever you want, AoE them down. Alright, back to full health and mana. Now we're going to run over, grab some more herbs that we see on our mini-map there. This will also show you where the safe spot is. So this last pack of lashers here, the single group, that column they're standing next to is a safe spot. So you can jump on the shorter end and then run up to the taller end of the column, and that'll be an evade spot so you can reset combat if you do accidentally pull any of the patrols. And then I think I mentioned this already, but there are a couple herb spawns. I think there are 2 where you'll have to aggro a mob you can't kill as a mage, or you can't easily kill as a mage. So I find it easiest to just Frost Nova them, grab the herb, and then run over to the reset spot. But we'll grab this last gromsblood, and then start heading towards this roaming satyr. Now this satyr patrol is stealth, and he can be wandering as far as pretty much that death lash is there. He'll be closer to the wall, all the way through this tunnel to a spot between the 2 satyr packs. So we're going to keep an eye out for him. There's also another potential stealth guy that can be spawned in that cubby there. So we're going to take a look for him. He's not spawned on this run, so we're going to keep moving forward. There he is. There's our patrolling stealth satyr. So we'll grab him, single target him down. Now there are 2 different ways to do the satyr pull. So option 1 is to do it the hard way, as I'm going to show you here. Option 2 involves using one of those thornling seeds that you pull out of the warped pods in the other room. So setting up here, we're going to wand the first pack, counterspell the second one, wait for them to get a little closer, and then we're just going to go ahead and block. We have our ice barrier up before the pull starts, so that we're not going to get hit right as we jump out of the block here. So I'm going to drop the block, jump in Nova. We're going to wait a second or 2. We're going to wait until that Nova is about 4 seconds on the satyrs. Then we're going to wind up a Flame Strike, Cone of Cold combo, and then we're just going to kite this out. So we're going to try to keep our ice barrier up as much as possible, and then we're just going to keep running in a circle using Cone of Cold. If the satyrs ever resist your Cone of Cold, you have the option to Frost Nova, so you can mitigate damage that way. I like to save my Frost Nova for that purpose. So sometimes you get 1 or 2 unlucky resists. These guys also have a nasty slow they can put on you, so better to just avoid taking any damage at all. So we're just going to keep kiting in a circle using our Cone of Cold on cooldown, and if we ever get a resist, we'll Frost Nova the pack and reset with a Flame Strike Cone of Cold combo. So continuing to just kite around in a circle here. Nothing crazy's happening, no resist so far. It's been pretty smooth. Get caught up on the rock a little bit there, but we're going to keep running. Refresh our barrier, hit him with another Cone of Cold. There we go. So we get our first resist, or we just missed him. So we'll keep winding him around the clock here, and then we're going to Frost Nova, wait a couple seconds. Again, waiting for that Nova to get to about 4 seconds left on the satyrs. Then we're going to Flame Strike Cone of Cold. Just keep kiting them out and wait for them to eventually go down. So waiting on the Cone of Cold to cool down here, getting kind of close. So got a little, that one was a little late, and we end up taking a little damage because of it, but we're still fine. So we're just going to go ahead and Frost Nova. The group's getting low. And then we'll Cone of Cold once again. Starting to get a touch low here, but still have plenty of mana. Still have my a mana gem that can be used, so not too worried. 1 more Cone of Cold should do it. I think we'll Frost Nova, Flame Strike, Cone of Cold, just finish off these last couple dudes. Now this is definitely the trickiest part of the whole pull, and generally I'm only going to take out these satyr packs if I'm hitting my my instance lockout, or if I'm just after some felcloth or demonic runes. So the last thing I will show in this run here is a couple more potential ghost mushroom spawn spots that I like to check. Again, I'm kind of after ghost mushrooms at the moment, so it's worth it for me to come check these spots, but you can just reset at this point if you don't care about these last 2 ghost mushroom spawns.
And I'm very much after the ghost mushrooms at the moment, so we're going to make that trek. There's also one over here in this corner, which is nice. There's a pat around here somewhere.
So starting to head up top now, we have 1 more patrolling satyr to look out for, so he can be anywhere out the end of this tunnel all the way up to the top, and he's also stealthed, so need to keep an eye out for him and just be diligent. I think in this instance he is all the way at the top, so we're going to run all the way up, and then we will single target him down and then go check that last ghost mushroom spot before we reset. So up at the top here, we're going to need to be careful not to pull anything. So we're going to run immediately off to the right, jump up on this ledge, run along the ledge, and grab this last ghost mushroom. Then we will log out and go ahead and reset, and we can start all over. So it'll spawn you at the spirit healer just outside of Dire Maul, so you can mount up, run back in, and start another run. So I like to be partied up with an alt while I do this. So I just log out, log over to the alt, I wait for leader to swap over. I like to just post up at a spot where I can grab some herbs or do something outside of an instance. And then once leader passes over, reset the instance, and then log back over to your main. So this is a super easy farm. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them, or come on over to Twitch and ask them live in Twitch. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe.